Hi, if you're watching this, you will probably recognise this particular set of instructions, and also it will mean that I have uploaded my first ever video to YouTube finally. My intention today is to try to give some guidance or perhaps solace to people who are struggling and failing to fit the handrail to this set of spiral staircase, because the written instructions, which is what we're looking at right now, do not contain the critical trick that apparently allows you to do this, although I've not yet tried it. There is another video online that I found which showed me this trick. I think it's from the manufacturers or from an established installer, but I thought there's no harm in having another view on it from someone in the field who actually has had a go. So in a moment we'll go outside and we will have a go at putting this on. So this is the set of steps in question. They are being used to access this, I'm going to change the format to access this balcony here, which was built by my friend John and his colleague Paul very recently. I'd happily give them a plug, but to be honest, I think they've got more work than they can handle at the moment, and hopefully it should be obvious why, if you can just ignore all the rubbish that we've managed already to pile up around it. But yeah, access used to be from a pretty rubbish staircase, so we bought this metal staircase, and the handrail is this item here, which is a hollow plastic pipe with a flange running around the bottom. The staircase was supplied in a flat pack box, and they curled the handrail up quite tightly inside the box to fit it, and then so when it came to it, the handrail itself should fit into these. The flange on the bottom fits into these parts here. I don't know if you can see that. You bolt. Oh God, where is it? You bolt through there. Sorry, if I find it. You bolt through there into the flange that runs on the bottom. So the idea is that the handrail forms a smooth curve up through to the top. The problem was that this is incredibly tightly coiled. I was expecting it to be more flexible than it is. It really isn't very flexible in its current state. You can barely bend it. So we had some fun and games trying to make it happen using a heat gun. They talk about heat gun in the instructions, but it's more for taking kinks out. They don't really, as far as I can see, they don't give you the key trick that actually allows you to do the initial kind of straightening to allow it to fit this, what is actually a fairly gentle curve. It's probably not very obvious actually around filming it, but a fairly gentle curve around the stairs. So just to put everyone out of their misery, the way you're supposed to do it is you're actually supposed to block the end and then introduce boiling water, which will heat the plastic up to a point where it becomes more malleable, and then you should be able to straighten it out sufficiently to get it to fit. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing I need to do is to find something to plug one end of it, and see if we can create enough of a stopper to actually get some boiling water in there and keep it there for a certain amount of time. I also need to find some thick gloves because I think this whole thing is going to get pretty hot. Okay, right, I'll go and find something and see if we can take it from there. Right, so after a lot of faffing around and looking in the workshop, the best thing I could find, believe it or not, that would fit into the end of the pipe is a defunct LED light bulb. You may ask, why am I keeping defunct LED light bulbs? Well, I have this aspiration maybe to see if I can repair them. I think it's unlikely that the LEDs inside are actually the thing that has actually died. I think it's probably more likely that it's the voltage regulator that's actually gone. So I have been hanging on to a couple. I've got a couple, and what I didn't realise at the time is that it would be the ideal thing to insert into there. It's quite a good interference fit. I'm going to try and tape it up and then see if that will help to hold some water. What I'll do is I'll flip it over anyway first, so that we've got it like that. See if I can get the water to run down inside it. Okay, more and on. Okay, bulb is in place, duct tape is on. Got it upside down now, hang on. There we go. Bulb is in place and the duct tape is on, and next move, I'm probably gonna, I've got a pallet up there hiding behind that stuff. I'm gonna maybe try and anchor one end and then get the water in and just see if I can start to ease it out of its tight serpentine coil. So I'll just go and get that I'll go and get that pallet and we'll see where we get to from there. And again, can't believe it, upside down. There we go. So yeah, so the end is just underneath that pallet. I'll try and probably rearrange it in a minute, just a bit, just to get it so that it won't pull out straight away. And well, it's hard to see where you are on camera. There we go. Alright, I'm going to get the kettle boiling and see if I can get some hot water in there and see what happens, I suppose. I need to get some gloves as well because I think this is all going to get quite hot. Okay, so it would have been good to be able to film that, but actually it was easier than I thought. You kind of pour the water in and it's in a coil, and when the water settles and sits for a few, well, not even a minute, seconds, it really just goes ridiculously floppy. Like almost, I was worried about kinking it or collapsing the tube. So yeah, so all I did really was just pour the water in and sort of walk around in increasing circles, really just working the tube straight, and as I say, just trying to avoid kinking it. It's that easy at that point. So I'm just going to try and do a little bit more and see how we get on. So we're closer to where we need to be. I've got the well, a lot of the curve out of the pipe. Now, frustratingly, I really want to start at the bottom because we had an abortive attempt at the top with the heat gun, and we've put some slightly weird kinks into the top, and I'm kind of thinking the top will be the part that I ultimately trim off as excess. So I've just flushed the water down, I'm trying to prop it up so the water will flow all the way down to the end. I've also loosened off my bulb stopper to try and let the water flow a little bit, to just get enough of the curve out of the bottom to allow me to start to fit it. And then I'm thinking that what I might do is try and keep using the boiling water, but using it in situ, allowing me to sort of work it one rail at a time in as we go up, so that just holding its, oh yeah, so it kind of holds its curve. I'll get used to this as it goes down, and maybe I can just keep working away at it. It's characteristically, the man on the video made it look very easy. I'm making it look extraordinarily difficult, but you know, if you're having problems, maybe that's some comfort to you. Right, so I'm gonna probably boil the kettle again, see if I can get another shot of water down there and see if I can get that curve out and offer it up to the stairs. Right, more in a minute. So I'm not going too mad with the water this time, because I've just got to I just really want to fill the end part. I don't really want to soften up the rest of it too much. This is going to be tricky on camera. I'm just pouring it in like that at the top. Just don't want to soften the rest of it up too much. You've got a light bulb, and here we go again. Right, another go. Right, and let's see if that's having any effect down the end. So here we go. So should be. Give it a minute or two to. So this is really awkward. I'm just trying to push it. Just trying to get the. Oh, there we go. I think she's going. It kind of gets to a stage, and then it suddenly goes. In fact, I'm going to put this here to give me something to straighten it out against. It's one of those jobs where it's just there's no. I'll rephrase that. I was going to say there's no tool for this. There probably is, but I don't know what it is. So I'm just trying to. There we go. There we go. See, it's starting to. It suddenly gets to a certain temperature and then it starts to go. I might just pop a bit more boiling water down it. Here's our top of our tube. Let's see what that does. Right. Yeah, so we're getting it running at the bottom there. So yeah, oh, that's really starting to go now. I just need to get that. That's the problem, is that when it goes so well that you start to get like introduce curves where you just don't want curves. It's almost too easy there. Right. So I'm just trying to get the last out here. It's getting better. We're getting there. Come on. Right then. It needs to get. So I'm just trying to push this down. That's got to be nearly there now. It's just springing back a little bit, but okay. Right, well that's better than it was. Just trying to get that. If I can get that out, yeah. This feels a bit like once it's gone once, it seems to go easier. Sorry, more easily. So we're trying to get it relatively straight. I'll try and take this kink out and it puts it back in here. Maybe judicious use of the palette. Chop this out and then back here. There we go. Right, trying to kill the plants. Right, I think that's pretty good for now. I'm minded to try and offer it up to the staircase now and see where we get to. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so user friendly this ain't, but I've managed to manoeuvre it. Oh, we're going to go up sun in a minute, so I've managed to manoeuvre it vaguely into position above the, sorry for the sun, above the banisters. One thing to note, they give you far more than you need, unless I'm missing something. But I know this is designed for multiple different, it's essentially a system that you can adjust to many different heights, so it looks as though they put in just a stock piece of tube and you just get what you get. So yeah, so I'm sort of starting to feel more optimistic. What we'll do is I'm going to drill through the bottom couple, see if I can get the fixings through, and then possibly put more water in and just keep topping it up with water as I go up, and seeing if I can just soften it enough to just fit into each of the little the rods as I go. That's my strategy. We'll see how it works. Let's give it a go. Right, so it's actually gone extraordinarily stiff again. so to speak. So yeah, but I've got my plug in the bottom there, and it's all running up the top there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce some more boiling water, not too much, just to see if we can fill up the bottom enough to actually get a couple of the bolts in, and then kind of hopefully and work my way up. I think I'm going to have to keep topping the water up as I go up, which presents two issues. One is that going to take the pressure as I go up? Don't know. Secondly, are we going to get too much mixing, which drops the temperature of the new boiling water too much as I go up? I don't know. I don't, because it's a narrow tube, I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of convection going on with mixing the water. So I'm hoping that each fresh charge of boiling water will heat the area that it's arrived at, and not transfer too much heat down to the rest, but we shall see. Okay, I might even try and set this up as a time lapse and see if that works. Okay, more. I'm going to boil the kettle. More in a moment. Right, so bottom 3 screws in, official. It's very much like wrestling with some kind of massive angry sex toy, really. Yeah, I managed to get enough curve on the bottom here. I'm hoping this can't have made it more difficult, surely. So I'm hoping that makes it easier. I think I'm going to have to improve my plug at the bottom if I'm going to retain water for any length of time in it. But I mean, the guys on the video, there were 2 of them, to be fair, and they were both Italian. So it was just ciao ciao, and then sort of Roberto's your uncle, really. But this is just me. So yeah, it's going to be more difficult, but we've got the bottom 3 in anyway, so I'm going to try and improve this plugging arrangement at the bottom and see if I can get any more water into it, and see if that helps, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, so it's done through the magic of TV. Sorry I couldn't film more of the doing of it, because my children started to kick off, and it would have made a pretty unpleasant soundtrack. I mean, key things really are plug the bottom. So I've realised in the kit now, again, not mentioned as far as I can see in the instructions, just see if I can bring this in to show you so I can in the light. They supply 4 end caps, well only 3 are actually needed, and this one is a bung of some, basically the other end caps are hemispherical, and they are, trying to get to focus, and they are sort of hard plastic, but this is a rubber bung, and it's, I don't know if that shows up on camera, but it has a taper to it, so I believe that's probably to be used to more effectively plug the bottom of the pipe. So get that in, get the boiling water into it, get it kind of as straight as you can. If you can leave a certain amount of a curve on it, that helps. So get it into sort of a large radius, and then I think offer it up to the staircase, and try and, as soon as you've got 1 or 2 in place at the bottom, then you're winning then. Now they supply the tube they supply is far too long for an installation of this height, which I didn't realise. So up at the top, when you're trying to work with it, you've got this huge bit of pipe kind of dangling off here, and you're trying to pour boiling water in. Fortunately I had that box to stand on to get it to flow downhill, but if you've got the confidence to do so, guesstimate the length and then cut off the amount that you don't need, and that will really help you to manoeuvre the whole thing. So that would help. They tell you to put a spirit level on these to try and get them vertical, but I mean I've done okay, but that one right in the middle of shot now is a bit uneven. They're good enough, I think they're safe, so maybe don't get too hung up on that if you're struggling. So yeah, the other thing is think about what you're going to put it on. We were really lucky that there was enough concrete here next to that inspection hatch to get the central column on. Unfortunately, the bottom banister there, which is supposed to be bolted down, actually lands on this inspection hatch. So yeah, that's not great. But I mean, in the instructions they tell you to put something like a 50 by 50 by, no, 40 by 40 by 1500 cast concrete blocks if you're going to support this as a foundation. Now I can understand you needing a lot of concrete under this, but I don't really see this end carrying that much load. So I mean, we're using this and it seems fine. I can't really see that that is a major issue. I wouldn't have that side on anything other than concrete. So yeah, word to the wise, before you go for one of these, I mean, they are reconfigurable, they are a bit adjustable, but pay attention to, just have a look at where you're going to land it and where it's going to land at the bottom, and also where it's going to meet the house at the top. Essentially, as a rule of thumb, the thing goes through, you go through 1/2 of a revolution to get up to the top. That's another thing that I couldn't quite wrap my brain around. So yeah, so I think that's it. So yeah, plug the bottom, boiling water, straighten out as much as you can until you can offer it up to the staircase. Offer it up, get the bottom ones in, a couple in at the bottom if you can, and then top up your boiling water, well, drain out, top up again, keep topping up. And if you can get a good enough seal at the bottom, I would say just try and fill the whole thing with boiling water as you go up, and then it will kind of conform. Then when you let the water drain out, it should set into the right position. But yeah, very, very difficult. I say very difficult. Hopefully this has made it less difficult, maybe. So yeah, good luck if you're attempting this. I think I'm going to put this out in the public domain. So any comments, if it's helped you, I'd love to know. Obviously, if you think I've been a complete idiot, please be kind. I take criticism seriously, I take it on board, so please try and make it constructive. Okay, thanks very much.